But
We're here with Robert J. Sawyer, Hugo Nebula Award winner and author of the latest book, Wake, not to mention author of Flash Forward, which is now a show on ABC, seen Thursday nights, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Central.
8 p.m., 7 Central.
8 p.m., 7 Central, and we're here to ask Rob to tell us a little bit about the show.
Cool, I'm delighted to be here. Flash Forward is a TV series on ABC based on my 1999 novel, the same name, published by Tor. David S. Goyer, who wrote Batman Begins, and Brandon Braga, who is famous for his work on the various Star Trek series, wrote the pilot script based on my book. The pilot was a great success. ABC thought it was the best dramatic pilot they'd seen in a number of years, and they ordered up 13 episodes. We've now gotten a go-ahead to do another 12 on top of that for a total of 25, which is very big for a season order, and it's all going wonderfully.
Rob's paying for dinner tonight. So that's pretty amazing, and I have to tell you, as a young author coming up, and Rob helped my brother and I, Eitan, with our first book.
These are my boys.
Yeah,
These are my boys.
This is just like, we're basically dreaming of being in that spot in a few years. Why don't you tell us about your new book that just came out, called Wake?
Sure. Wake is my 18th novel, first of a new trilogy called the WWW Trilogy. The books are Wake, Watch, and Wonder, and they're about the World Wide Web gaining consciousness. Wake was serialized in analog, full text, and the novel came out hardcover in April 2009 from Ace, paperback coming in April of next year. I finished the second volume called Watch, and I'm hard at work right now on writing Wonder. In fact, I'll write some of it here while I'm in LA, down working on Flash Forward stuff. A lot of people say Wake's the best thing I've ever written. Who am I to dispute? It's nice if you've got to go in some direction, you might as well be going up. So.
Okay, one last quick question. Catherine, your wife, was telling me that...
Carolyn. That's all right. Oh, you know her. There
I know. Sorry, Carolyn.
You're over.
Take that again. Carolyn, your wife.
Okay. Carolyn is my wife for
yes,
25
Carolyn
years.
has been your wife for 25 years. She was telling us that you're actually working in the pit, in the writer's room with the guys at Flash Forward. What is that like?
This is a very
we can't
interesting
imagine
experience.
that.
Yeah. There are 8 staff writers for Flash Forward, and David Goyer is head writer, or they call it showrunner in the biz. And all the scripts are written, or at least the outlines are written by committee, which to me is very strange as a novelist. As a novelist, you go and you sit alone in a room and you sweat it out of your forehead and you write it and you make all your decisions. And in the room, it's all about everybody pitching what they think. Well, what if this happened? No, maybe that could happen. What do you think? And literally, David Goyer periodically will go, as the head writer, will go, okay, how many think that so-and-so should do such and such? How many think the opposite should happen? All right, well, if we're going to go with that, should we do A or B as the take on it? Very interesting process. And the big thing about doing it is you have to remember that it's not how many of yours you get in, but what's best for the show. So there can be no ego in the room. You got these 8 writers, and what are writers but egotists? You got 8 writers in the room plus me sitting in because I'm writing an episode now. And all of us are pitching ideas, throwing them out. And ultimately, David, as the head writer, makes the decisions of what goes in and what goes out. I've been very pleased with the involvement I've had in the show. I've been consultant from day one. I was just watching one of the episodes where some of the dialogue, just that one scene where I'd written some of the dialogue, was very exciting. It really is exciting to see it come to life when the actors are speaking the words. And it's been an absolute treat.
And one last thing, Eitan has a question he's been dying to ask you.
My man.
Well, question. I read your book, Rollback. I love the concept.
Thanks, sir.
Only problem with it was, and obviously someone has to have a problem with it, would it go to the rich like that? Do you really think that if it was truly developed like that, the rich would be allowed to keep it, or the powerful would grab it? And I know.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting that you make a distinction between the rich and the powerful. I'm not sure there is all that much of a distinction these days. What is money but the ability to make things happen? And so it's interesting, but it Flash Forward also has an immortality theme in the novel. And what's happening in Flash Forward, the novel, if you read the book, is that in fact a guy is going behind the scenes and making sure that it's Nobel Prize winners are the first to get the immortality treatment. The people that we need the most are the ones that he wants to give it to when he is the powerful guy. So the bottom line is, which one do I think is it? The powerful or the rich will get immortality first? I wrote books that did it both ways. That's the way you get mileage out of an idea. You do, well, what if the powerful had it? What would they do? Maybe they get the Nobel Prize winners. What if the rich had it? Maybe we would just make sure that our dynasties continue, that companies that, you know, Bill Gates will never have to give up control of Microsoft. He'll live forever. So I've written it both ways. And I don't know. I think if there's a message of Rollback, which is a novel about rejuvenation and practical immortality being confirmed by a medical procedure, it is that it would be a societal mistake to let it just be the powerful or just be the rich that get it. There are other measures of the worth of a man or a woman, and that society would benefit. And what's Rollback about? It's finding the most ethical people on the planet. That's what, as you recall, it's a bunch of it's about aliens, SETI messages, and what is the purpose of the SETI contact?
Morality.
It's to filter out it's like looking for Diogenes. Where is the honest man amongst all these people? I think that might be the thing that'll ultimately be worth preserving.
I have a joke.
You have a joke
after
for me?
this.
All right.
Oh, after this.
Oh, afterwards. All right. He's going to tell me a joke in private.
That about wraps up our guest appearance, our first ever guest appearance on NeverEndingPanel.com, and we want to thank you, Robert, for joining us.
A pleasure.
We want to thank you, Carolyn, for
Buddy.
letting me screw up your name on film, even though we're going to cut it out, and we want to thank you, Eitan, for actually performing very well, even though I kind of nailed you on that. He always had that question when he never really did.
You just made that up.
I did, yeah, I like
Off
that.
my head.
That's all right. It's like the plans 1 through 8. You just make them up.
Yes.
And we're out.
Cool. Thanks, guys. What a treat.